Live here at the Pennsylvania Convention Center for the North American Championship. We're going to listen in now for the national anthem.
See by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last stream, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
National anthem as we're about ready for the North American Championship in 2016 for the Power Hockey Cup, a rematch of the 2014 championship game, as we have the three-time defending champions Minnesota Saints ready to take on the Philadelphia Power Play. And we are about ready to go here in this big showdown. Looking forward to this matchup. They did meet back in pool play where it was Minnesota coming away with a 4-1 victory over the Philadelphia Power Play. That game closer than the final score would indicate. It was a 2-1 lead for Minnesota till about the last 2 minutes of the game, until Philadelphia picked up a penalty, an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on their fans, which led to a Minnesota Power Play insurance goal. And then they added an empty netter at the end. So looking forward to another close matchup here between these two teams as they have a rematch again from 2014. In that championship game, it was Minnesota beating Philadelphia 5-4. Big reason why the Saints won that game was that they scored 4 goals in about a 3-minute span to build up a 5-1 lead. The Power Play attempted to come back. They were able to cut the deficit down to 5-4. They just ran out of time as Minnesota hung on to win that 2014 Power Hockey North American Cup. So this the return match, and of course in this matchup, Philadelphia has the home ice advantage. Back in 2014, that game was played at the Roy Wilkins Auditorium in St. Paul, where the Saints won. So Philadelphia hoping a little home cooking can help them come away with the championship here in 2016.
Boy, this is going to be exciting, and I'm about to say it right now. We're about to get bout it up in here.
You got it, Mr. Mike York. Good turnout here for this championship. Chad Wilson carries it into the zone for Minnesota. Dumped in as it'll be picked up by Jake Saxton for the Philadelphia Power Play. He'll carry it up along the left wing boards, tried to center it, picked off by Twite for Minnesota. Interesting lineup here as they have just one of the Ritter brothers in the lineup. That's Jacob Ritter, who had a hat trick in Minnesota's 4-3 semifinal victory over the Toronto Rock, electing to go with the veteran Josh Twite on the other wing. using that veteran presence here for the championship game. Chad Wilson will lift in a shot that bounces wide, picked up by Alex Pitts in the corner. He had a big game for Philadelphia. And their controversial semifinal victory over the Michigan Mustangs, as the power play were able to take advantage of a power play goal late in the game. There was only one penalty in that game, and it was called at 2:04 of the third period on Michigan standout player Kevin Confara. Philadelphia took advantage and scored that goal on the man advantage. That was the game winner as they advanced past the #1 seeded Michigan Mustangs 4-3. Here's Saxton working his way into the Minnesota zone. Stopped by Matt Wimmergren, the starting defenseman for the Saints. In goal for the Saints, their usual goaltender, Sarah Heinz. Anthony D'Amico makes the start for Philadelphia. They'll have Luke Hoban on defense, one of their alternate captains. Here's Wilson into the zone, lifts his shot, looking for a tip there between one of his teammates, Twitey, trying to slap in a rebound. Now still loose in front along D'Amico. Ritter trying to hit home a rebound. Philadelphia struggling to clear it. Wilson gets it back, and he lifts a shot over that. Good pressure being put on here by the Minnesota Saints. There's that big chair of Josh Twitey trying to dig it out. Now it'll trickle over to the right wing side. Here's Jake Ritter. Gives it up to Chad Wilson. Much more active here on the offense in this game, Mike, as opposed to him having a much more of a defensive type role in that semifinal victory over Toronto. This time very active on offense.
I was just going to say that, yeah, he was very active this time. He's really right in the play. Usually he's right where he is, on the right by the offsides line. But, yeah, right there he was in deep trying to put some pressure on this power play.
Wilson trying to dig it out. He'll get it and now reset things for the Minnesota Saints. Wilson with a head of steam. Comes into the zone, lifts another shot. He's taken a ton of shots here, at least shot attempts. He's had about 4 or 5 so far, which seems about as many as he had in that semifinal victory. Not saying it was a bad strategy. He was just being a little bit more of a defensive force in that game against Toronto, which was necessary because especially in the third period, the Rock were really taking it to Minnesota. But the Saints used some good defense to hang on for that 4-3 victory to advance to this championship game. Speaking of defense, the Philadelphia power play did a great job defensively, keeping the tournament's leading scorer, Kevin Confara of Michigan, relatively in check, as they also got their 4-3 victory over the Michigan Mustangs. Turned over to Jacob Ritter. He fires a shot, and it goes over the net. Someone may have gotten a piece of that one.
Lots of pressure being played with the Saints here, knowing what's at stake is their 3-time championship.
Alex Pitts with that left-handed stick attempts a long shot. Wimmergren just watches it sail wide. He'll leave it for Jacob Ritter. And now it'll be Chad Wilson, the captain of this Minnesota team. Great outlet pass to Jacob Ritter. He takes a shot, and he was trying to go on that backside, but just couldn't get it quite on net. Now it's Jake Saxton leading the rush for Philadelphia. He'll bank it off the wall and get it into the Minnesota zone to Liam Miller. Miller being pressured by Chad Wilson in the far side corner. Miller looking for somewhere to go. Looks like Alex Pitt's going to help out. They have Jake Saxton playing at the point here on this sequence. Similar to that role Chad Wilson plays for the Saints when they go on offense. Wilson works his way into the Philadelphia zone. He'll spin around. Battle there between two of the leading scorers of the 2014 tournament when Saxton and Wilson went 1-2 respectively in scoring. This year's tournament led by Kevin Confara in scoring. He will win the scoring title unless someone does something crazy in this championship game and gets like 15 points.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see that happening.
Yeah, neither do I. Yeah, because I think he has the scoring title in hand. He has, I think, a 15-point lead over Alex Pitts, who's the second leading scorer.
But Chad Wilson does, I believe, lead in assists.
Yeah, he does currently lead in assists. Chad Wilson comes into the game with 13 assists. Into the corner, it's Jake Saxton spinning around. In the third place game, the Toronto Rock knocked off the Michigan Mustangs 7-5. In the fifth place game, it was a 5-2 victory for the Ottawa Capitals over the Toronto Lake Raiders. So a tough day for the #1 seed Michigan as they lose both their semifinal. There's a long shot from Saxton, blocked by the defenseman Hoban, and the rebound swatted away by the Philadelphia power play team. I have to say, a rough day for the #1 seed Michigan Mustangs, who had such high expectations after playing so well during pool play. They had that controversial loss to the Philadelphia power play and then had some trouble with the Toronto Rock, who beat them in the third place game. So.
Definitely, yeah. Rock gave them some fits, but that was well earned, and Rock should be very happy with coming home with a third place victory.
Chad Wilson attempting a shot, and that sails over the net.
Yep, Wilson's shooting a lot more this game, and he knows what's at stake as well as all the other players do. This cup that's right in front of us.
That's right. We have that cup right in front of us. We'll see maybe during the intermission if Jackie Panaz, our camera person, can get a shot of that. Wilson slaps it under the chair of Jake Saxton. Pitts there to help fish it out. Pitts will work his way into the zone as he gets cut off by Chad Wilson, who will slide it behind the goal. And Jacob Ritter trying the long pass to Twite. Here's Twite into the zone. Twite around the defense and goes just wide of D'Amico.
Nice rebound by Wilson. Just couldn't get it on the crossbar at all.
Looking for a long shot, and he scored.
Wow.
Lifted up by Chad Wilson. He gives Minnesota a 1-0 lead here in the 2016 North American Championship.
Yep. Maybe it's time for Chad to take over. We'll see. He's been dormant this tournament, kind of letting back. But today, this game, he's going to be out there really putting the pressure on the power play. Let's see if the power play has a quick answer.
Yeah, very aggressive here on the offense, and I think Philadelphia may want to be. There's another shot, that one blocked by Hoban. Yeah, you wonder here if Philadelphia might want to be a little more aggressive on Chad Wilson when he enters the zone, as he is very active here on the offense. Alex Pitts finds Liam Miller on the left side. He loses it to Chad Wilson. Wilson left wing side to Jacob Ritter. His pass deflected. He'll be helped out by Twite. Carried in by Jake Saxton as he'll dump it into the zone. During their first matchup with Minnesota winning 4-1. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Here's Jacob Ritter trying a tough angle shot that goes into the corner. We were very impressed, Mike, by the way. Minnesota played defense on Philadelphia in the Saints' 4-1 victory. Really bottling up this Philadelphia attack, and so far it's been kind of the same story. Power play have not had a whole lot of chances. Ritter's shot blocked by Hoban. Now behind the net, centered by Ritter, but nobody home. Now trying to find Jake Saxton on the outlet pass. Saxton will work his way around the rail and send it behind the net. Now Chad Wilson gains possession. Wilson will spin around. Cuts his way up from the right side now towards center. Passes over to Jacob Ritter. Passes for Minnesota have been very crisp thus far in this game. They really look focused and ready to go here in this championship.
They do. They're coming out with a different intensity that we've seen them even in the rest of their games.
Good find, Jake Saxton, but a better back check by Jacob Ritter to immediately get on Philadelphia's standout player. He'll get tied up in the corner by Chad Wilson. Also helping out there is Jacob Ritter. Ritter finds Twite. He'll slap it into the zone. Slowed down by Hoban, nearly turned it over to Jacob Ritter. Let's see if Philadelphia, they have numbers right now. Here's Saxton. Couldn't center it to Liam Miller, who was momentarily open in the slot. Along the end, they'll play with the puck, trying to dig it out from somebody's chair, or it's got somewhere down there. Now it's Chad Wilson who comes away with it. Wilson's got a 2-on-1 along with Twite. Saxton helping on the back check. It'll just be dumped in by the Saints. Twite retrieves it in the corner. Taken away and lost to Alex Pitts. Now Jake Saxton with possession. Saxton sends it over to the right side to Alex Pitts, but swiped away by Jacob Ritter on that wing. Minnesota has been very quick to the ball here in this game. There's a long attempt from Pitts, which will sail wide of the net in the corner. They'll leave it for Chad Wilson. Goal scorer at the 7:46 mark here in the first period as the Saints have a 1-0 lead. We're at the 4:33 mark here of period number 1. Wilson looking for more. Trying to work his way around the defense. Now will go behind the net. He'll be met by a Philadelphia player. Defenseman Hoban playing some aggressive defense. Now Pitts will pick him up. Nice screen, but is blocked by the sticks of a couple of Philadelphia players. Sent back in towards the crease. Saxton will pick it up along the end wall. Saxton now wheels behind the net. He'll try to work his way into the zone. They'll try to find Alex Pitts. Here's an opening for Pitts, but he's met immediately by Matt Wimmergren, aggressively coming out of his defensive position. That was where Minnesota had a lot of success defensively against Philadelphia, was Wimmergren coming out of that defensive crease to cut off these power play players once they enter the zone. Here's Liam Miller looking for something. His shot blocked by Twite. Twite now has it lost in his feet. Miller and Pitts trying to dig it out. Now a loose ball. It's picked up by Jacob Ritter. Ritter ready for a shot. He lobs one in, and it's covered up by Anthony D'Amico, the goaltender for Philadelphia.
Nice shot by Ritter, and good defensive play by Twite, taking it off the face there and making sure they don't get a nice opportunity up there, and that's what created the turnover.
Face-off will be to the left of Anthony D'Amico, who, through pool play, had a goals against average of 5.59. Here's a breakaway for Jake Saxton. Has Wimmergren to beat. Not able to pull the trigger as he was bothered by Chad Wilson. Kind of stripped him as he was trying to take that shot. Wilson will strip it away, and now the Saints ready to go the other way. Minnesota captain from his own zone will skate with it up along the right wing side. Weaves his way into the zone. Fancy move there. He shoots, and a block made by D'Amico. Rebound given up. Who wants it? Stuck under someone's chair. Ritter trying to dig it out. Twite there as well for the Minnesota Saints. Comes away to Alex Pitts. Pitts looking for Liam Miller. Has him open on that right side, but a good back check by Jacob Ritter. The youngster Jacob Ritter's been quick on the back check, using that very fast wheelchair that he has. Jacob Ritter will go behind his net. He'll be chased by Jake Saxton, who's trying to cut him off from making that outlet pass. Liam Miller there to slow it down for Saxton. Fancy stack handling play. Neat little play there as he'll send it to the end wall. It's Chad Wilson for the Minnesota Saints. Seems like every time an opponent tries to jump it on the Saints, Chad Wilson gets the ball about 90% of the time, really. There's a shot off the back of D'Amico, trying to center it to Twitey. He can't fish it out from the chair of Hoban. Now Saxton gains possession. Possible 2-on-1 if they hurry. Here's Liam Miller with it, but Miller stopped by Jacob Ritter. He has just done a phenomenal job on the back check.
Definitely. Good.
Preventing these odd man rushes that Philadelphia has developing.
Good job all around by the Saints. Yeah, together as defense. Here's a chance, though.
Yeah, Pitts and Miller couldn't create anything there, along with Jake Saxton. Now Chad Wilson stick handles his way into the zone, gets bumped by Jake Saxton. Play continues, trying to go on the backside. No goal, close shot there. And now here's an outlet to Jake Saxton, but Wimmergren gets there first, goes through his chair. But Jacob Ritter again on the back check, quickly gets to the ball. He'll leave it for Chad Wilson.
Wimmergren got a little bit of piece of that. It was actually good that it went through his chair to cut Jake Saxton off.
Jake Saxton with another opportunity. He'll have it taken away by Chad Wilson. Now Pitts picks the pocket of Chad Wilson, and they're going to say it was offsides. It's been really effective about having Chad Wilson in kind of that defensive position, is that it seems like you pretty much just get one opportunity every time you get the puck in the zone, because Wilson eventually gets the ball and will clear it to one of his teammates.
Yeah, definitely, and just does a good job.
45 seconds remains in the first period. 1-0 Minnesota with the lead here in the 2016 North American Championship Rematch of the 2014 championship game, which took place at the Roy Wilkins Auditorium in St. Paul, and the Minnesota Saints were the host. This year, we're at the Pennsylvania Convention Center, where the Philly Power Play get to act as the tournament host, and they're hoping they can capitalize on a championship here on their home floor. Turned over to Jacob Ritter, and he has it taken away by Jake Saxton, down to 13 seconds in the period. See if Philly can get a 2-on-run rush here in the waiting minutes. It's Liam Miller. Goes back to Jake Saxton, slides it through, and it goes off the goal post. Oof. 1 second left, and that'll do it. Mike, let's see if we can get that on replay.
Yes, we
can. Last opportunity for Philadelphia in the
yes, we can. Start down here in the Philadelphia end here as they bring it up. And, yeah, right off the clank, off the post right there.
Scoring summary of the first period, just one goal. It was scored by the Saints at 7:46. Chad Wilson getting his Minnesota team on the board, and that's where we stand after one period. Minnesota 1, Philadelphia 0. Stay tuned. We'll have the second period on the way next.
Mike York here. Brett Johnson's getting a quick photo, but there's a great picture of what they are fighting for. That is the cup. And we're about to start off here with the second period. Saints up 1. And they will be beginning soon here. Good first period of back and forth action here. And they are doing a great job of making this game really entertaining for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely, Mike. Been a very entertaining game. Minnesota with just that one goal, and again, it's been their defense who's done a really good job bottling up this Philadelphia attack. We'll see what they can do here in the second period as the power play going to be moving from left to right. Minnesota's going to be going from right to left. Saxton works his way into the zone, tries to go around Wimmergren, can't get a shot off. He'll pick up his own shot, trying to bank it in off Sarah Heinz. Can't do so, as now it's trapped behind on the end wall. Chad Wilson will have it and now work his way out through his defensive zone and get the attack started.
We have a question. Is the evil leprechaun ref, that's Tim, ever smile?
I don't know if Tim smiles when he refs.
No. He was smiling quite a bit, though, during the broadcast when we were, commentating, but not when he's a ref.
Yeah, well, when he's reffing, he becomes a very stoic robot type guy. But, yeah, once you get him out of reffing, great guy. Chad Wilson for the Saints will carry it in through center, trying to work his way around the defense. Bounces a shot which goes wide. Jake Saxton retrieves it for the Philadelphia power play. Along the left wing boards, he'll carry it into the zone. 13:46 to go in the second period. 1-0 Minnesota on top of Philadelphia here in the 2016 North American Championship game. Live from the Pennsylvania Convention Center, Philadelphia trying to win it as the host team. This is exactly the game they wanted to be in after losing 2 years ago. It's been a rocky road to get there, but they're in the game they want. Bounces off the crossbar. A shot from Jacob Ritter.
Definitely, they had a long road to get to this championship, but they're here in front of their home fans, the host town, and we got a great crowd and people watching, and we'll see what happens here. They need to get on the board, though, so they can get some momentum.
Yeah, very different from 2014, where this power play pretty much cruised into the semifinals without much of a challenge. Their first close game was that semifinal win over Calgary in 2014. Then, of course, they lost to Minnesota. Here's Ritter with an opportunity. He'll backhand a shot wide. This year it's been a struggle for them, but they got back to the championship and did what they had to do. They went 2-3 in pool play, but then got 2 victories in the elimination round over Ottawa and Michigan, which were 2 of the 3 teams they lost to in pool play. Now they're trying to avenge their 3rd loss. So it's kind of the revenge path for Philadelphia to win this championship, beating the 3 teams they lost to. And we're going to get a whistle on the play. I think we have an issue there with the glasses of Alex Pitts. We'll face it off with 12:17 to go, second period. 1-0 Minnesota on top of the Philadelphia power play. Chad Wilson will face it off against, it looks like Alex Pitts for the power play. Veteran Chad Wilson, who's been one of the best players in the world for quite some time. And are they onside? No, they are not. I was pretty sure that ball had come across the center line. The referee agrees, so we'll have a face-off in the Minnesota zone. Any comments you want to send us, do it on the social stream here on our Ustream feed. Let us know who you're cheering for, thoughts on the game, where you're watching from. Love to hear your thoughts throughout tonight's broadcast.
Person from Oklahoma says, "Go power play."
Power play trying to win that championship after storming on the scene back in 14. Backhander from Josh Twite. Came close to going in, but he'll slap it out of play.
If my memory serves correct, I think Alex Pitts, when I interviewed him, said he had some family from Oklahoma.
You are correct. I remember that.
Yeah.
Friends, family, a lot of people watching for these players out here from both teams, including Mike. I know your good friend Davey.
Davey, we call him Davey. Hi, Davey.
Yep.
Dave Culp. Chat room, please give AIC fan, that's Dave, that's Davey, crap about his name. I'd enjoy that very much.
Saxton will center it to Liam Miller as it gets dumped into the zone. Saxton trying to spin around. He'll lose it to Chad Wilson from the near side boards. He'll be helped out by Jacob Ritter. Saxton will gain possession, tries to bank it off. Sarah Heinz came very close to going in. Now they score!
Wow.
Philadelphia ties it up at 1. A great individual effort by Jake Saxton. Mike, get that on replay and tell
We
us
will,
what
right here.
happened.
Gets it from the corner, takes it from Chad Wilson, makes a nice nifty move to put it in the net there.
It was a great effort to strip that ball from Chad Wilson. That's not an easy task, and that led to that goal. A rare turnover by Wilson in his own zone, and Philadelphia ties this game up at 1.
We filled up the power play goal, scored by number 18, Jake Saxton. The assist, number 88, Liam Miller.
Liam Miller will get the assist for Philadelphia. For Liam Miller,
Saxton scores for Philadelphia power play.
that's his 7th assist of the tournament.
Very good all-around play for the power play. But, yeah, nice individual, though, from Jake Saxton to steal it from the veteran Chad Wilson. Picked his pocket.
10:49 to go in the second period. They'll try to dig it out from those far side boards. Liam Miller there to help on offense. Philadelphia getting a nice forecheck established. Now here's Chad Wilson breaking it out of his own zone. He takes a shot, bounces into D'Amico. He'll cover it up for a face-off. As Chad Wilson slamming his stick in frustration. Think he wanted to do something else with that shot after he had that break. So face-off will be to the left of D'Amico. Minnesota trying to win an unprecedented 4th straight championship. Philadelphia, I believe one of the newer teams here in Power Hockey who kind of came out of nowhere in 2014 with their young kids. Trying to establish themselves as one of the new powerhouses here in Power Hockey. Oh, what a pass by Jacob Ritter. Lifting that towards the back door. Twite was trying to swipe it home, but I think they're going to say his stick was too high in the air, so we'll face it off.
Yeah, I believe that was from Liam Miller. Bounced off his stick. He had a little bit of a high stick there.
Yeah, may have hit Miller's stick, which is why I think the face-off is going to be in the Philadelphia zone. Twite was also trying to bat that out of the air. Off the draw, it's Chad Wilson on his backhand. Wilson wheels around in his own zone, or in the Philadelphia zone. Getting very deep here as he tries to sneak one in backside. And I think we're going to say it was a save. That was a very close shot. Mike, let's go ahead and get that on replay.
Yep.
Very close opportunity for the Saints.
Let's see it here. Very close right here. Oh, super close.
Power play. Able to avoid a second Minnesota goal as we remain tied up at 1.
Baller 001 says, let's go. Saints want to see more of the Ritter twins.
Well, just one of the Ritter twins playing so far in this game is Twite getting the start ahead of Nathan Ritter. Saxton trying to do something with it. He's bottled up by a number of Minnesota players. What Minnesota used during that 2014 championship game to get the victory was scoring 4 goals during about a 3-minute span. And from there, that deficit was just too big from Philadelphia to come back from. Power play hoping to avoid that same type of fate. They done a nice job keeping Minnesota's offense relatively in check. Wilson's shot bounces wide. Ritter can't get there in time on the backside. Here's Alex Pitts, the leading scorer for Philadelphia during this year's tournament, as he'll be bothered by Chad Wilson. To the end wall goes the ball as they'll try to dig it out from there. Two teams that play, at least on Philadelphia's side, kind of more of a finesse style, as well as a whistle compared to that more physical style we kind of saw from Michigan and the Toronto Rock. So going to see a lot of very skilled players out there on the floor here in this championship game. Face-off will be to the right of Sarah Heinz, veteran goaltender for the Minnesota Saints. They have a lot of veterans on this team. The Ritters are about their only really young players they have on the squad. Other than that,
Mostly,
a lot of players with experience like Chad Wilson, Josh Twite, Wimmergren, Heinz. Shot takes a bounce, trying to get a rebound as Jake Saxton goes wide, and play continues as the power play continue with a nice forecheck that they've gotten established. 8:13 to go here in the second period as we're approaching about the halfway mark of the game. Alex Pitts playing up there at the high point for Philadelphia. Still stuck along those near side boards. Whole bunch of bodies there trying to dig it out. Chad Wilson will come away with it for Minnesota. He'll be guarded by Liam Miller. Wilson will enter the zone. Now he's picked up by Jake Saxton. Shot will be flipped wide. Now it's Philadelphia going the other way. Here's Alex Pitts. He'll work his way into the zone on the left wing side. Slides in a weak shot, which goes wide. Now it's Wilson. It's kind of back and forth we go with Pitts and Wilson leading rushes. Chad Wilson lost his stick handle momentarily, gets it back, now trying to work around Jake Saxton. Pitts trying to kind of turn over. Now Liam Miller will swing around. He won't get there in time as it's hit by Jacob Ritter.
Saints a little discombobulated now in this offensive zone. They not have sustained much pressure this period. All the pressure has been going to Philadelphia, and as you see on that last Chad Wilson pass, it missed its mark for his opponent. He was getting pressured a lot.
Alex Pitts weaving his way out of the zone. He takes a long shot, and that'll bounce just about an inch wide of the goalpost. That one came close to going in. Looks like it may have surprised the goaltender, Sarah Heinz. Face-off will be to the right of Heinz as we're at 6:51 of the second period in a tie game here in the 2016 North American Championship. Good turnout, good crowd here for this game. Philadelphia, of course, with the majority of the support here live, as they are, of course, the home team. I think a lot of the teams that are also watching, the other squads, also hoping Philadelphia could win. So they'd like to see a new champion other than Minnesota. Alex Pitts for the power play. Stick handling in his own, trying to keep it away from Jacob Ritter. Both Ritters now on the floor as Twite has left the game, so we get our first look at Nathan Ritter. He'll be in the blue wheelchair if you have some trouble telling them apart, as they are identical twins.
So the Minnesota Twins, haha, pun.
Oh, there you go, the Minnesota Twins. How about that? It'd work if one was from Minneapolis and one was from St. Paul.
Yeah, and if they were named Minnie and Paul.
That's right. Here's Chad Wilson into the zone as he'll be stripped by Alex Pitts.
Come on, Luke! Come on, Luke!
Miller trying to set a pick for Pitts. Successfully does as he enters the zone. Takes a long shot right into the chair of Sarah Heinz. Good opportunity there for Philly.
Super good read by Sarah Heinz. One of the best saves of the game so far.
Chad Wilson going the other way. There's a shot, and that goes in. Minnesota takes a 2-1 lead. Chad Wilson fired up, and the Saints are back in front.
As you see, look at that save right on the end by Sarah Heinz. There's that save. This leads up to the Chad Wilson goal. So we got good plays on both ends for the Saints. And there's that little flip shot. I don't know how he made that in with that little, with that shot, but it was definitely a dandy.
Minnesota Saints goal scored by number 87,
Chad Wilson's second goal of the game. I think he knows this is the type of game where he might have to kind of go in that Michael Jordan type mode, and he's done that so far. Attempting a lot of shots, a lot more than he did in the semifinal, where he was playing as almost more of a quasi-defenseman. This game been very active on the defense. Ritter's trying to go across. They hit it across to Nathan Ritter, stuck under the chair of D'Amico. Now it's behind the net. What a connection there from the Ritter boys.
Yeah, I tried to stop the puns, but I guess I'm just a little too, you know, I can't. That's all I have is puns, so I'm sorry. I'm getting a lot of grief from the chat room.
Now it's under the chair of Luke Hoban. Now it's Chad Wilson trying to dig it out. Play still continues. Still loose under the chair. And now hit to safety by Philadelphia. Nathan Ritter for the Saints. Looking for somewhere to go. He'll leave it for Chad Wilson. Wilson again goes into the zone. He'll be met by Jake Saxton. Trying to go on the backside. Hits the chair of D'Amico. Now it's Alex Pitts, for the Philadelphia power play. 4:22 to go in the second period. Minnesota now out in front 2-1. Here is Alex Pitts for the Saints trying to send it across to flex off the chair of Matt Wimmergren. Saxton can't hold it in. Philadelphia has to regroup in their own zone. Spitting is Alex Pitts, leading scorer for this year's Philadelphia team. He'll be met by Jake Ritter. That'll impede his progress. Now trying a lead pass to Saxton. A little too much on that, though, as it'll be tied up in the corner.
Hey, Jackie, I got to get you to take a look at the crowd later on in the middle of the period here to see there's some fans for the Saints that have all their bellies painted with the word Saints on them.
Oh, very nice. Gotta love that. Chad Wilson for Minnesota will stick handle his way through center. Another long shot. That one goes off the goalpost, trying to get his own rebound back. Now Pitts trying to slap it away. Goes towards the backside. Saxton gets it in the corner. Power play wearing their black jerseys in this game. Saints in their whites. Here's Pitts. Taking a shot that'll bounce towards the end wall where Chad Wilson will try to get a breakout play set up here for Minnesota. Chad Wilson sends a pass over to Nathan Ritter. Weak shot gets blocked by the Philadelphia defense. Now it's Alex Pitts trying to avoid Jacob Ritter. Pitts on his backhand. Trying to work around Chad Wilson. Centers a pass, unfortunately for him. Saxton not home. He was a little behind the play. Chad Wilson gathers it up again. As he'll look for an outlet pass ahead to Nathan Ritter, who had a hat trick against the Toronto Rock. And he nearly scores again. Had an open look there at the net, but couldn't get an accurate shot on, so we'll have a whistle here with 2:10 to go in the second period. Minnesota leads Philadelphia 2-1.
He did it. It was a tough shot, you know, especially coming from that angle. The goalie can't really see a whole lot when he's turned that way in position, so that's an excellent shot, you know. Tough for a goaltender to really see.
Pitts for the power play along the right wing boards. Lost his stick handle momentarily, gets it back. Now we'll try to avoid the stick of Chad Wilson. Wilson at least got a little bit there to break up that centering pass. Now it's Jacob Ritter going the other way. Has his brother Nate as a trailer. It's a game of a lot of breakout plays here, Mike, as we haven't seen a ton of sustained pressure. We've seen a couple sequences, but this has been a game where it's been a lot of transition hockey.
Definitely a lot of transition, a lot of breakouts, you know. Just like you said. They need to get their acne cream for all the breakouts.
And you said you were done with puns.
No,
far
from it now. As long as the chat room loves it, I'm going to keep doing it.
Well, it kind of makes for an entertaining game. It's not quite the grind fest that we've seen in some of these elimination games. This is a wide open up and down game. Look at the weaving there by Chad Wilson. He'll slap it towards the corner. Nathan Ritter trying to get on that. And now he thought about a wraparound, but Miller is able to steal it away. Liam Miller will push it outside the zone. Miller with a burst of speed. Miller cutting his way towards the net. He'll be met by Matt Wimmergren. Got a little extra going on that chair on that sequence. Now it's Jacob Ritter going the other way. Saxton and Pitts there quickly on the back check. Flips a shot in, goes wide. Now it'll be Pitts from the corner. Saxton, Pitts, a little give and go. Here is Saxton. Lost his stick handle, though. Now it's taken away by Jacob Ritter. Possible 2-on-1. He takes a shot behind D'Amico, and he scores! Jacob Ritter, the youngster, gives Minnesota a 3-1 lead with just 7 seconds to go in the period.
Wow, what a great shot there. The Ritter boys are playing excellently. Every game they've gotten a lot better. Each game they've been in. And they're definitely showing it now during the championship game. As you see the shot right there that goes in.
7 seconds to go. Chad Wilson just will be content to dribble it into the corner and take a 2-goal lead into the third period. A late goal from Minnesota youngster Jacob Ritter. And the Saints putting themselves in the driver's seat as they look for a four-peat.
They sit down, but you can see a little bit, at least the guy has go on his stomach. And there's an S there. And there's a kid there with a Twins hat on with, I believe, the N. But they're all sitting down now, unfortunately. We'll have to get that later before. But are we? You can go ahead with those stats, though.
Yeah, let's do the scoring recap before we take a break. Jake Saxton tied the game up at 1 at 11:13 of the second period. He was assisted by Liam Miller. And Chad Wilson put the Saints ahead at 5:27. And Jacob Ritter, with just 7 seconds left, 007 style, gives the Minnesota Saints a 3-1 lead. So some work to do for the host Philadelphia power play once we head to the third. We'll have that on the way in about 3 minutes. Third period on the way here for the 2016 Power Hockey Cup North American Championship game. Minnesota Saints out in front of the Philadelphia Power Play by a 3-1 score.
3-1 lead Minnesota.
Power Play with some work to do. They've had some trouble getting past that Minnesota defense, much like their pool play game, which was won by the Saints by a 4-1 score. This game has a similar type feel to that one. We'll have to see if Philadelphia has a rally for them here in the third period, trying to win a championship in front of their home fans, as we're live from the Pennsylvania Convention Center. A nice setup, as we're about 6 or 7 stories up in the air here at the Convention Center in the terrace ballroom, as they brought in kind of a gym floor type surface. Alex Pitts for the power play will stick handle his way along the right wing boards. Got bottled up, and now it'll be Saxton who will lead the rush. Here's Jake Saxton. Can't pull the trigger on a shot as that gets blocked by Chad Wilson. Wilson from his own zone will wait now, wheel back behind the net.
Gravy Chain says Mike has horrible jokes.
I can't disagree with him there.
And Gravy Train has horrible spacing and comebacks.
Jake Saxton for the Philadelphia power play on the right wing side. Passes it over to Liam Miller. Smart play there by Wimmergren just to get that tied up in his foot pedals. Outlet pass too far for Jacob Ritter. It'll be Saxton for the power play. Saxton leaves it for Alex Pitts as he'll spin around. Alex Pitts for Philadelphia works his way towards the left side. Takes a shot, bounces off the belly of Matt Wimmergren, and now it's taken by Chad Wilson. Using his body to shield that ball from Jake Saxton, he'll just retreat back into his own end. Saints in the driver's seat here with a 3-1 lead, so certainly in no rush to get that attack going. They'd be very content to burn more time on that clock as we have 13-12 to go here in the third period. Face off to the right of Anthony D'Amico, the goaltender for Philadelphia, getting the start tonight as it was actually the other goaltender for Philadelphia, Aaron Gordon, who saw the majority of the time.
Definitely, yeah, and D'Amico's just been playing solid, so that's why they've been riding him most of this entire tournament, because he has had the hot hand.
Interesting, as we had a warning there to the fans to kind of stay away from that flash photography. Don't want to distract those players.
All as I get is I don't care. Wow, like I said, bad comebacks.
Saxton now leaves it over for Jacob Ritter. Dumps it for Chad Wilson as he'll spin around near the face-off dot. Wilson into the attack zone for Minnesota, trying to work his way around Liam Miller. Gets blocked by the Philadelphia captain. Now it's Alex Pitts. Pitts leads it over to Liam Miller. Here's an opportunity for the captain. He takes a shot. Wheel save by Sarah Heinz. Now Minnesota in transition. It's Nathan Ritter. He'll send it towards the Minnesota goal, slowed down by Luke Hoban. Digging for that ball on the doorstep. It'll trickle into the corner. Now a transition opportunity for Liam Miller. Had a strong game here for Philly. Miller tries to send it across, but Saxton can't get there in time. From the corner, it's Jake Saxton for Philadelphia. Up to the top, they go to Alex Pitts. His shot denied by Minnesota. Trying to hold it in. He'll toe drag. Ball still in the zone. As pressure being wrapped up by Minnesota to try to force it out. Now it'll be picked up by Chad Wilson. Wimmergren attempting to set a pick now. Wilson goes into the zone. Be met by Liam Miller as he'll send it back to the end wall. Alex Pitts for Philadelphia. Now to the near side boards. Here's Pitts.
That was close. Good pick, though. Almost turned that over right in front of his net.
Have it poked away. Now the power play again will regroup in their zone. 11-19 third period. 3-1 Minnesota on top of the Philadelphia power play here in this rematch of the 2014 championship, which was won by the Saints by a score of 5-4. Third place game, the Toronto Rock beat the Michigan Mustangs 7-5. Wilson takes a shot, looking to go on the backside. They score. It is Nathan Ritter getting a goal.
Wow.
Chad Wilson with a great find, and Minnesota in command with a 4-1 lead.
We'll take a look at that here in a second. And, yep, right here. They turn it over. Chad Wilson gets it. Makes a nice little hard slap shot on D'Amico. And D'Amico leaves a juicy rebound, and Ritter just sits there and puts it in. And we got Go Saints there. Very good. That's hilarious.
Right on the bellies there, written on the fans, saying Go Saints. Even though Philadelphia is playing at home and has the majority of the fan support, Saints did bring a fan contingent of their own. Power play with some work to do now, trailing by 3 goals. Shot from Pitts goes wide. It played into the corner as Jake Saxton trying to do something with it. He's bothered by Matt Wimmergren behind the net along with one of the Ritters back there. Puck's still lodged between the borders. Coaching staff trying to say they're not moving the puck, blow it dead. Well, play is going to continue, though, as we're at 10:18 here of the third. And now it'll be held in by Philadelphia as Luke Hoban now helping out on the attack, knowing that they got to be a little more aggressive here on offense to try to get 3 goals in 10 minutes.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but power play are in serious trouble here now. They need to start picking it up, putting some more offensive pressure on the Saints.
Yeah, Lubin is helping out, and that's an issue you're going to have when you bring Hoban up, is that you expose yourself to those one-on-one opportunities, as Nathan Ritter was looking for his second goal of the game. But it's what you got to do here for Philadelphia. It's a tall task to get 3 goals here against this stingy Minnesota defense.
Nice pun there, Krista. Yep.
Wilson looking to go on the backside. It goes into the corner, now picked up by Alex Pitts. Pitts from the end wall weaves his way along the left wing boards. Now Alex Pitts on the right side crosses the center line. Here's Jake Saxton. It's sandwiched off the ball by Nathan Ritter and Chad Wilson. Loose near the wheel of Jake Saxton as now Wilson will spin around and lead the breakout play for the Saints. Fans on his breakout attempt turns it over. Now Saxton with an opportunity to his backhand, and Sarah Heinz with a save.
Wow, what a great save. Very good shot. Best shot selection Saxton had was on that backhand. He perfected, but waited for Sarah Heinz to just snuff that one out.
Liam Miller for Philadelphia gets it poked away by Jacob Ritter. 4-1, about halfway through the third period. Work to do for the power play. Pitts retreats in his own zone. Now will attempt to carry it in. Pitts on his backhand, met by Chad Wilson. Able to bank it off the chairs, threads the needle on that one. Now Luke Hoban trying to slow down Jacob Ritter. Now Nathan Ritter the other way. Nathan Ritter can't pull the trigger. Good back check by Jake Saxton to the Philadelphia power play. Back and forth we go as Philadelphia will bring it into the offensive zone. Trying to chase it down to the corner of Saxton as he'll be bothered by Chad Wilson. Wilson towards that right wing side, being pressured by Alex Pitts, and he'll just send it deep into the zone. Hoban there to slow it down. Hoban now playing a bigger role here on the attack for Philadelphia as they're trying to get a rally started late in this game. Time starting to become an issue at 7:38 as they trail this game 4-1. Chad Wilson being pressured there by Alex Pitts, and that's something that I think Philadelphia maybe should have done a little bit earlier there, is trying to pressure Chad Wilson and not let him have those clean breakout plays. Of course,
And
second guessing is always easy because
Bradley
it's
Gordon,
very,
yeah.
It's very easy to expose yourself when you try to pressure Wilson like that along the end wall.
Definitely, and I'm getting some slack here from the chat room from Bradley saying that I'll never be the man my mother is.
Here's Jacob Ritter for the Minnesota Saints. Light shot, that one nearly goes in, but D'Amico makes the save for Philadelphia. 6:54 to go, third period. Minnesota in front of the power play by a score of 4-1 here in the North American Championship.
All I gotta say is Brad, you'll never be the woman that your dad is.
There you go. All right. So what do the power play got to do here, Mike, to get back into this game? There's some work to do for them, trailing by 3.
They need to actually just pressure the Saints. They need a lot more time in the zone. Pass the ball around. It's harder, easier said than done. But yeah, they need to start making shots. Everything they do needs to go towards that net and then crash the net.
So the old adage, there's no such thing as a bad shot.
No, there's no such thing as a bad shot, and especially if you're playing for that cup.
3 good shots away from getting this tied up, but tough to get 3 good shots here against this Minnesota defense.
They can do it. They are the comeback kids of 2014. They have had to come back a few times this tournament, too.
In front of us here on the scorers table, we have that championship trophy as well as the 2016, I believe, player of the tournament, a plaque be awarded to the best player of the tournament. That'll be an interesting pick because Kevin Confara of the Michigan Mustangs, who came in 4th place, was by far the tournament's leading scorer by a wide margin, but it'll be interesting to see if they give him the trophy or if they give it to one of the players here on the final 2 teams.
Yep, that's right. I'm wondering who's going to come out with the player of the game here if it comes down to it. My vote is one of the Ritters. You know, they've definitely helped the Saints get this far, but it's not over yet. I think Jake Saxton, Pitts, and Miller have something to say about it.
Well, we shall see, as we did have a timeout on the floor. Teams talking things over, making sure they have their strategy ready here for the final 7 minutes of this game. Face-off won by Philadelphia, as this is Jake Saxton. There's Saxton from the left wing side. New player joining the attack for Philadelphia, that's Bryce Smith. As he'll have to try to help out here on offense for the power play. Saxton in the corner, flips it ahead to Alex Pitts, and they score! Close to being a high stick. Wilson pleading for a high stick. Referee says it was below the waist. Philadelphia
Definitely.
gets it to a 4-2 deficit. Mike, get that on replay for us, and you could be the judge on whether that was a high stick.
It's tough, but I believe that's a good goal. I think it was a below his waist. I think it was a good call.
Saxton will pick up the assist, and exactly what Philly needed to get this to a manageable deficit. But walk out here. Here's a break for Jacob Ritter. Good back check there by Philadelphia. And now it's Nathan Ritter with a shot, no goal. D'Amico makes the save. D'Amico is going to be under siege here every time the ball goes into his zone, being that Luke Hoban, who's normally their stay-back defenseman, out of the game as Philly tries to bring in more offense with Bryce Smith.
Just like Bradley's jokes, the Philadelphia Power Play need to really try hard here.
Try hard. There you go. That's always a good strategy, right?
Try hard. Try harder.
Here is Saxton for Philly across the center line. Trying that toe drag to keep it away from Chad Wilson. Plays it over to Alex Pitts. Pitts from the near side corner. Flips it across looking for Bryce Smith. Now it's Saxton. Can't pull the trigger on the backhand. Saxton flips it, but it deflects off a Minnesota player. Saxton trying to get another flip to Liam Miller. That came close to working in some fancy passing here from the power play. Now a race to the puck. It'll trickle behind the net. No defenseman for Philadelphia. They're bringing in four backers.
They're going all out here.
Yeah, they're throwing everything but the kitchen sink, knowing that time is running out, trailing by a 4-2 margin with under 5 minutes left. Here is Bryce Saxton, or Jake Saxton, rather. They'll have it taken away by Chad Wilson. Pressure being put on immediately by Brad Smith. Also by Liam Miller. Got to be careful here, stick handling if you're Wilson. He's able to find Jacob Ritter. Ritter with a shot. No goal as D'Amico makes the save. Give him credit.
That was super close. That hit off the crossbar. I don't know if you could see that well, but I did.
Couldn't grab it right there. Yeah, it's a dangerous game that Philadelphia is playing without a defenseman, but haven't been burned yet.
They got to do it, you know.
Yeah, they got to do it, absolutely. It's a good strategy. Here is Alex Pitts attempting a shot.
Oh!
Scores! It's a one-goal game. Alex Pitts gets the Philadelphia power play within one.
Pitts, and that's exactly right now how the Saints are feeling. They're in the pits. Let's see what they can do. The Saints definitely need a comeback here, or maybe a timeout to settle things down. This crowd is going hot.
Hold on now. Philadelphia attempting a comeback. Feels a lot like 2014 where the Saints build up a big lead, only to see Philadelphia come back and nearly tie the game. Wilson attempting a long shot turned away by Philadelphia. Now Chad Wilson kind of exclusively playing in that defensive position, much like he did in that last game. We'll see if Philly's going to stick with this same attack of bringing up 4 forwards. It's been giving Minnesota fits here over the past few minutes. Saxton just running into a wall of Minnesota players at that center line. It'll be Wilson with the ball. He has it stripped away by Bryce Smith. Smith trying to force his way to the net. It's stuck under a chair now as they'll attempt to fish it out. 3:25 to go, third period. Minnesota leads Philadelphia 4-3 here in the North American Championship. Can Philadelphia complete the rally? And in 2014, they came close to completing the rally, but Minnesota held on. Will that be the same story here in 2016 on Philadelphia's home floor?
This is where their experience from last tournament will come in.
Wilson fires a long shot. It'll trickle behind the net. Now here comes Jake Saxton. And now Saxton into the zone. He works. Interesting, I was listening to the Minnesota coaching staff. They want Chad Wilson to pressure a little bit more along with the Ritters.
They might have to, you know. They are coming strong. You know, he is a great offensive player. They're going to need his expertise on the offensive end to try to stave off this power play barrage.
Yeah, thinking that maybe they want to go for that insurance goal. 2.5 minutes left. It's lost under a chair. Here is shot from Alex Pitts, puts it wide. That puck got loose for a second. Clock running right now. Now they stop it at 2:20.
He wanted that desperately back.
Yeah,
as soon as he missed, he slammed his stick down.
That was awfully close. A great finish here from the Pennsylvania Convention Center. Deja vu going on here. This is very similar to the 2014 championship. Almost the exact type situation where Minnesota built a big lead only to see Philadelphia come back. Dangerous stick handling there by Wilson. Now you got to be careful. It's a 3-on-1 for Minnesota. What are they going to do here? Wilson takes a shot blocked by D'Amico. Boy, has he come up big here for Philadelphia. Again, the power play playing without a defenseman, electing to bring in that extra forward. Here's Liam Miller just throwing it at the net, hit away by Chad Wilson. Bryce Smith will attempt to help and hold it in. He's done a nice job here as that extra attacker. Has not seen a lot of time in this tournament, but he's been coming up big. That shot lifted right into the belly of Matt Wimmergren with 1:43 to go in regulation. Giving more people gray hairs, I'm sure, that are watching this game tonight. Been an exciting game, and we're going to have an exciting finish ahead of us. Face-off will be to the right of Sarah Heinz. D'Amico still in goal for Philadelphia. Probably a little early to pull their goaltender right now. It's stuck in the corner as they'll try to take it away from Chad Wilson. 3 Philadelphia players in there to try to help out and get something going. 1:25 to go. Puck behind the net. They'll put pressure on Chad Wilson in the corner. Saints content to do this. This is just milking a lot of time off here on the clock. Philadelphia is desperately trying to get the ball towards the slot so they can get an opportunity. There's a shot that goes wide from Alex Pitts. Oh, man, that was close. Pitts has brought it here over the past few minutes, trying to will his team to a comeback. Here is Saxton taking a backhander, blocked by Minnesota. Last minute of the game. D'Amico still in goal for Philadelphia, not going with the extra attacker. Here's Jake Saxton for the power play, throwing it in front to Liam Miller. Ball still loose. What can they do with it? Still loose under a chair. Trying to fish it out are both teams. Still loose in that goal mouth area. 38 seconds to go. Ball comes loose. Can't keep it in. Oh, what a move there by Pitts. Takes another shot, bounces, and a block by Matt Wimmergren. 29 seconds left. Can Philadelphia get the game-tying goal? Minnesota looking for their 4th straight championship, trying a wraparound attempt. Goal comes loose. They're going to blow it dead. And now we have a bit of a collision there behind the net. Referee Tim Coleman goes down.
Looks like he's okay. But, yeah, just kind of that's how he plays, to be right in the action. He needs to be right now. And, wow. Are they going to get a power play? There was a lot of net moving.
I think they're just going to, yeah.
Coach wants
coaching staff saying they moved the net on purpose. They want a penalty. They're not going to get one. So face off with 21 seconds. That's going to happen here in the final 21 seconds. Can Philadelphia get this game tied up?
Oh, my God.
Liam Miller talking things over with the official, trying to figure out why there's no penalty on Minnesota. And now we're going to get a timeout on the floor. Is power play going to draw something up here over the past 21 seconds? We'll see if they can bring in an extra attacker.
I don't know what happened.
So conversations here on both benches. The power play a little frustrated that they weren't able to get a power play out of that situation, thinking that there should have been a penalty on Minnesota. Oh, all sorts of drama here from the Pennsylvania Convention Center. 21 seconds remain. They're trying to tape up the stick there of Bryce Smith of Philadelphia. We'll have to see what they do here if they elect to take D'Amico out of goal and bring on a fifth attacker. They already have 4 attackers into the zone, which has really helped things here during the second half of the third period.
We have lost the stream.
Well, hopefully we can get it back. If you're watching on the DVD, you already know what happens, but we don't know what happens yet here at the rink, and we're looking forward to a great finish here over the last 21 seconds. Hopefully we can have Mike get that stream going again so fans can watch the very end of this game. So we'll see what the power play will do here with their lineup. D'Amico is going to stay on the floor. We'll have to see if maybe they bring him up towards center ice to act as an extra attacker. So here we go. Face-off will be to the left of Sarah Heinz. Will bring D'Amico up on the attack. And a big win there by Minnesota. Chad Wilson has the ball for the Saints. Got to find a way to steal it away from him. 13 seconds. Trying to cause a turnover. Everyone in on the attack. 8 seconds to go. Can Wilson salt away the clock? Here's Alex Pitts. He momentarily gains possession. 3 seconds. Can they get anything going? 2, 1, and a victory for the Minnesota Saints as they win their 4th straight North American Championship. Philadelphia not able to create a last-second opportunity as the Saints hang on, and their dynasty continues as they win here on Philadelphia's home floor.
What a wonderful game. Let's hear it.
A fun game here from the Pennsylvania Convention Center. And a tough break there for the Philadelphia power play as, like 2014, they fall behind by a large deficit, make a late comeback, but come up just a little bit short as Minnesota wins another championship. A fun game we had here this evening.
Definitely a brilliant game. We're trying to get the stream back up for you, and hopefully that'll do it. But the fans at home definitely got to see a barn burner when they get the DVDs.
Absolutely, a 4-3 win from Minnesota over the Philadelphia power play. Here's the scoring recap of the game. First period, Chad Wilson got Minnesota on the scoreboard first at the 7:46 mark, and we had a 1-0 Minnesota lead after 1 period. Second period scoring, Jake Saxton tied things up for Philadelphia. He was assisted by Liam Miller. Then at 5:27, the Saints went back ahead.
Where's your hot
second
spot?
goal by Chad Wilson. And then a third goal was scored by Minnesota with 7 seconds left in the second period to put the Saints ahead 3-1. And that was our score after 2 periods. Third period scoring, it was Nathan Ritter putting Minnesota ahead 4-1. He was assisted by Chad Wilson. But then in the second half of the third period, that's when Philadelphia rallied. Alex Pitts scored at 7:22 as he was assisted by Jake Saxton. 4:07, Pitts scored again to make it a one-goal game. And unfortunately for the power play, they weren't able to get the equalizer, as that's where we stood with the final score. Minnesota getting a 4-3 victory over the Philadelphia power play. A great game here from the Pennsylvania Convention Center. We'll have the awards ceremony coming up. In fact, we'll go ahead and listen into that right now, and then we may have Mike stand by with an interview with one of the Saints players.
Have your attention, please.
Yeah, don't stop.
Before we begin our award ceremonies, I would like to take a few minutes for some acknowledgments. First and foremost, congratulations to the Minnesota Saints, the 2016 Power Hockey Cup champions. The Saints had an overall record of 6-1 in the tournament. Congratulations, Minnesota. We also want to acknowledge all the coaches for their dedication and the players who competed to the best of their ability. It was a very exciting tournament. As a parent of a power hockey player who has traveled to several tournaments, we know and appreciate the time, the effort, the sacrifice, and expense to support our kids, our spouses, and our friends. Please give yourself a round of applause for all that you do on a daily basis. At the risk of forgetting someone, I ask that all the volunteers who work the registration desk, sold 50/50 and raffle tickets, announced the games, operated the scoreboard, the official score sheet, helped clean the floor last night, or any other task that I failed to mention, please stand or wave your hand. Thank you very much. To host a tournament of this magnitude and in a venue like the Pennsylvania Convention Center required the vision and dedication of the Philadelphia Power Play Advisory Board. We were very fortunate for the leadership and selfless generosity of our former president, Richard Weaver, who suddenly passed away in February at the young age of 53. Beginning in the summer of 2014, the board members met on a monthly basis to fulfill our goal of hosting a memorable tournament. I would like to acknowledge the Philadelphia Power Play Advisory Board. Tom Sable, Joanne Shipman, Monica Hilferty. I think we were ready for divorce court the last several months getting ready for this. Roger Lawby, Lillian Melendez, Sue Lucas, and our son Pat Hilferty, who put the program booklet together. I promise only one more acknowledgement before we begin the awards ceremony and the banquet. In September 2003, my son Patrick wanted to organize a power wheelchair hockey team. From its inception, there are two very special people who have been the heart and soul of Philadelphia Power Play. I want to acknowledge those two special people with the plaque. Would Joanne Shipman and my wife Monica come up here? reads in grateful recognition for your dedication and tireless efforts to the growth growth and success of Philadelphia Power Play. Congratulations, Monica and Joanne. Thank you for coming to Philadelphia. Enjoy the banquet. Have a safe trip home. And as our parting gift, each team gets to keep their own banner. Thank you very much. Tom Sable, our board president, if you could just come out and say a word. Thank you.
Well, Dan asked me to come out and speak for about 30 minutes, but he took about 27 of them, so here we go. But anyway, what a great competition tonight, and the entire weekend. I don't think you can get any sporting event anywhere spend 4 days and the same level of sportsmanship, camaraderie, and competition anywhere. It's been fantastic, and especially today's games are just so exciting. I'm going to sleep well tonight. I hope Philadelphia treated you all well. I hope Power Play treated you all well. Thank you very much for coming so far.
Thank you. There was also a special thanks to Ottawa assistant coach Alex Lalonde for providing technical assistance and the repairing of wheelchairs for all of the teams in here. Alex, great job. We thank you. Now it's time to reward some players. First off, we've got the second place team, the Philadelphia Power Play. Number 25. Michelle Boardman. Number 29, Anthony D'Amico. Number 4, Leah Donahue. Number 10, Kate Duntonville. Number 85, Erin Gordon. Number 28, Pete Henkel. Number 7, Luke Hoban. Number 88, Liam Miller. Number 8, Alex Pitts. Number 18, Jake Saxton. Number 22, John Sifko. Number 12, Bryce Smith. Of course, the coaches, Tony D'Amico, Gary Saxton. That's the Philadelphia Power Play. Where we'd be without the officials. We want to thank them. First, there's Christine Kay, Tim Colvin, who's on the floor, and Paul O'Leary. We thank you very, very much. And now, the tournament-winning Minnesota Saints. Number 64, Gordy Foster. Number 1, Ben Hafner. Number 9, Sarah Heinz. Number 14, Cindy Hughley. Number 19, Joe Hughley. Number 98, Chelsea Knudsen. Number 21, Ali May. Number 22, Jacob Ritter. Number 33, Nathan Ritter. Number 81, Josh Twites. Number 87, Chad Wilson. Number 20, Matt Wimmergren. Coaches, Josh Holler, Dan Hughley, Josh Wintergren. That's the winning Minnesota Saints, champions of Power Hockey Cup 2016. And also we have the championship game MVP, number 9, Minnesota, Sarah Heinz. And now, presenting the cup to Captain Chad Wilson.
Can you go to any website with the hotspot?
50-50 winner will receive $273. Take out your blue tickets while Minnesota celebrates. Give you a second to get them out.
Weird, yeah.
The numbers are 551979. 551979. You have won the 50-50. Come over and see us. We have some cash for you.
Please choose a sponsored video. Your content will begin shortly.
Millions of Americans
have hepatitis C, but many
don't know.
Let's verify the ticket. There we go. Paul McDougall has won the 50-50. Coach of Toronto. We like it. First round's on you, Paul.
You got the recorded version.
The Bose sound system Bluetooth.
The Kindle's first. Kindle Fire is first.
Never mind. The Kindle's first. We're picking that one out of the raffle tickets. Brian Severi.
Oh my God.
Brian, you have won the Kindle.
Get the Kindle.
We're writing Kindle on the back of your ticket, Brian.
The Bose. The Bose.
Really, it's like Vid Blaster.
Now the Bose sound system. Lillian Melendez. Carry the Philadelphia Power Play.
So it's Vid Blaster that's the issue?
Next is the GoPro Hero. Oh, this is a beauty. And the winner to that is Tim Henkel. Tim Henkel, come on over and see us. You won the GoPro.
Yes. It started about 7 o'clock.
Okay, the final is we're going to add to it one of the coolers from the Power Play tournament.
Yeah, he has one already.
James Lamberson, Ottawa, Ontario. James Lamberson.
James. Christine will take and give it to James.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're told that our food will be ready at about 7. Which gives us about 30 minutes to enjoy both of these teams and the players all around and what they've done. I'll tell you, I have had such a blast here for a couple of games. It's been fun. My name is Lou Nolan. Good night. See you at the banquets.
All right, Lou.
So you can't do anything there. All right, let's see if we can figure out how to save it at best. That's the issue right now, is just trying to save the